Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you all of the garden books and reference books that we have that help us on our homestead. I wanted to give you a quick glance inside them to hopefully spark your interest in some of these books, and maybe you can add them to your own growing library. To start the video, we have quite a few different reference books. We find these reference books are quite handy for identifying different plants that might already be on your homestead, but it also allows us to get a better idea of what grows naturally in our area. It's great to have the pictures so you can distinguish between different types of plants, as well as descriptions to kind of give you more details about the plants themselves. Similar to the ones about flowers, we also have pocket guides for insects in our area, which is especially helpful for identifying ones that may become pests, but it gives you a description of them and the information based on what species they are, and we found this very helpful because we don't know our bugs that well. Likewise, ones for birds is quite helpful as well. This one you can see is Birds of North America, so it's very specific to our area. And I really like this one for the photos, so you can distinguish which species are what based on a couple different characteristics. In our library, we also have quite a few books that are more cookbook related, but this one here is the Wisdom for Home Preserves, which is actually like a quick tip book, and this has been really helpful for us because we're first-time canners and preservers. Typically, we've just eaten our harvests in the past, but we definitely want to extend the long storage of our harvests. I really like the graphics in this one too. They're very simplistic and kind of more like retro inspired, so it's definitely a good read to have on hand. We also have the Everything Root Cellar book, which is kind of similar in the sense that it gives you tips and tricks at the beginning, ways to save your harvest, to set up your home, how to fill it. But at the back here, it actually gives you quite a few recipes. And if you notice with these recipes, they're very short and very simple for the most part. And I found this very handy because I'm more of a simplistic kind of baker and cooker. So having something that was short and to the point was really beneficial for how my mind works. But we did also receive this one as a gift. This is a grocery gardening. So this actually kind of teaches you similar ideas, giving you 101 basics. The pictures are more realistic in nature. And of course, they have tons of recipes in this one as well. The cool thing is they are based on the actual herb or vegetable that you're growing. So if you're not really sure what to do with certain things, you can flip to the section and it will tell you different options that you may have. This one is similar to the ones that I just showed you in the sense that it will tell you what you can use specific things for. I absolutely am obsessed with this book. This one is more on the herbal side of things, so it does give you a brief description at the front where preserving and herbalism kind of comes from, which I thought was very interesting of a read. And then also at the back, they have quite a few different charts for home remedies. Now, this is something I have definitely been interested in looking into, and I thought the way that this was lined out was really cohesive, and I'm looking forward to trying some of these things and putting them into practice in our own lives. The best part, I only paid $1 from the thrift store, so definitely check out your thrift stores for different garden books. I don't think our library would be complete without having some solution books. So we have two different ones here. We have the Everyday Garden Solutions and we have Great Garden Formulas. These ones differ a little bit in the sense that this one is helping you along with different concoctions and different recipes for composting, for growing, for that sort of thing. The graphics are pretty simple. They give you a step-by-step instructions and it covers a variety of topics, which I found was very, very useful. This one, on the other hand, this is from Reader's Digest, which we have quite a few of their books. It will give you a full color photo and it kind of stages them in questions, and then it will have the answer below. So I found this was really helpful because that's usually how I start my research, is with a question. and it covers each thing in kind of the categories that are to do with your garden. The full photos are beautiful as well. I love a good quality bright photo, so this one definitely hits all of those points. If you've been following my channel, you'll know I'm located in Kingston, Ontario. So we did get a book as well that was more specific to our region. So this is a guide that kind of helps along in our area because it will talk about varieties that grow well and their details about them. It of course has tons of beautiful photos, beautiful references, teaches you how to build different terrains and how to plant certain things, talks about obviously your perennials, your annuals in the area, and different variety of things based on my specific climate. If you're not in my area, this is a great option to have. This is an encyclopedia of gardening techniques, so this is basic skills that every gardener needs. And as you can see, this is a massive book, so it really does cover almost everything that you need. I find that, again, it has beautiful graphics. Some of them are real photos, some of them are design photos. It's all in sections as well, so it's easy to follow along. It teaches you all about the different vegetables, the fruits, the different plants, all the techniques that you need to grow them. And really, this is just a massive resource of everything to do with garden and outside techniques. We reference this one a lot. There are tons of books in our library that have to do with more specific planting. This one was gifted to us because we do have mainly raised beds here on the homestead, and this is a book that kind of talks about the different solutions for that. It's more of a black and white book, so it doesn't have those colored images that I like, but the information in it is more of a long format read. So if you're the kind of person who more enjoys like a novel as opposed to a reference book, this is a great one because it definitely talks more in depth about everything and why you do what you do. So this was a great option. Thank you. We also have the year-round vegetable gardener. This is something that we've tried to do, especially in winter because we are here in Canada and we get quite a bit of snow. So this breaks it down by spring, summer, fall, and winter, and it kind of goes over the different things that you can do to have a successful season in that regards. This is more about structures and about how to like cover things, but it does have a couple information about different herbs and vegetables and what climate they grow best in. So if you've ever questioned what you can grow in earlier seasons, it does have a chart down here, and then usually it has a symbol for if it does best in snowy climates or if it does better in kind of more moderate climates. This one here is also a more specific book. This is how to build your own greenhouse. Now, we don't have a greenhouse, but we did pick this up because we thought it would give us some great information. And we have scanned through it, but we're not quite at that point yet. So the tips and tricks in here, again, are about structure, but it does have this handy chart so you can actually follow along with it and do all of the steps correctly, which I think is pretty important, especially if you're like us and you've never had a greenhouse and you've never known what to do. It gives you a bunch of different charts and stuff. Now, my husband is in construction, so he can read these. They're a little bit more difficult for me, but it definitely gives you the different styles and all of the information pertaining to that. Going with the topic of structures and building, we also picked up this book. It was also a thrifted one that we found pretty interesting, and it's Making Twig Garden Furniture. So this is a reference book that kind of shows you a step-by-step and some measurements of different things that you can build around your household, and it was really great and interesting to get the different tips and tricks just using sticks and using twines and stuff like that. We haven't started building things quite yet on our homestead because we're still working on the planting side of things, but this really covers everything from smaller birdhouses to chairs to larger trellising systems, and I thought it was really, really, really neat to have, and of course picking it up for a pretty inexpensive price was a great option for us. Finally, we also have a book about houseplants. Now, I have quite a few houseplants here on the homestead. I know you guys don't get to see them as often, but I grabbed this so I could start making videos that gave you information about them. So I'm still learning myself. I just do most of my things by knowledge on the internet, but I thought this book would be a great reference, and I adore the photography that's in it. You can flip along and it tells you each one of the plants, the information, what they need. And I just love the photography. It's so bright, so cheery. And I thought this would be a really great reference book so I can start giving you guys the information about different household plants that we have and ones that may do well in our area as well. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video about the books that are currently in our library for all of our planting needs. If you have any suggestions of books that you love or ones that you have found are a great reference, leave them in the comments because, of course, we're always growing here on this channel, and your support and your help really, really does do that. It helps. So thank you for joining and have a great day.